I totally recall a time when they made The Running Man in a better way back in the day. Let's explore. All right, that's right. I am the man you may know as Z from Our Reviews Will Kill You. And I'm here to react to The Running Man. I'm just going to briefly glance through the trailer. I don't know. I just have a bad feeling about this. Because I remember when Colin Farrell did Total Recall and how bad that sucked. And remaking Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that's classic like that seems like a bad idea. They've remade Predator like 5 times and it sucked even worse every time. So why would this be any better? Maybe because they added Glenn Powell. Maybe, baby. I don't know if I agree that that's going to work, but they're sure going to try it. So let's take a look. The Running Man trailer. Glenn Powell runs for his life in Edgar Wright's Stephen King adaptation. Is that really fair to call it a Stephen King adaptation because he was writing under a pseudonym at that point? And this just seems like a bad dream. I don't know. He's writing as Bachman at that point, and it's more of a science fiction piece. And what's interesting, at least to me, is that when they did it originally with Arnold Schwarzenegger, they understood that you can't just adapt Stephen King stuff because most of it's unadaptable to movie or TV. When was the last time you were like, wow, it was amazing, and it was from Stephen King? Don't get me wrong. I like all of his novels from 2000 and before. Anything after that, questionable. But you know, when you're talking about The Stand and maybe not Cujo, but other books of those ilk. I mean, I've read them all. Christie, whatever. I've read like basically every Stephen King book through like the year 2000. And the weird thing is I never read Running Man because it was under Bachman. But at the same point, they're trying to adapt the novel, it seems like, as opposed to adapting the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. And the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie is iconic. So this seems like a bad idea. And they hired Edgar Wright, who, I don't know, I'm not the world's biggest Edgar Wright fan, but he's got this like weird frenetic style. And this seems to fit that. So, I don't know. I'm confused. Glenn Powell is okay. He's fine. It's a 1982 novel by... It's not by Stephen King. It's by Richard Bachman. And then it was turned into a film in 1987 with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm not going to spoil the new movie for you, but this is not an adaptation of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. And what I liked about the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, it was very much more... There were themes that resonated with me more, and the idea that this was like a government-controlled like psyop where they were using it to control the people because you could gamble on it, much like you can gamble on everything today. It's very similar. And then it's a game show, which everybody watches. For those of you who are uninitiated, it's a game show. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a military officer who refuses to open fire on civilians who are rioting. I don't know if they were rioting. Maybe they're just peacefully protesting. But he does open fire on them. And that causes quite a few problems, right? Well, he refuses orders. And they court-martial him and give him the opportunity to save himself by forcefully injecting him into this game show where he has to fight for his life. Long story short, it's a controlled environment where you go into the game show and they control everything. This looks way closer to the adaptation of the book. Like they're really trying to do a copy of the book. And that seems like a bad idea because it's Stephen King. It never works out for you the right way. And while they do carry some similar themes of media manipulation and all that kind of stuff. The host of the Arnold Schwarzenegger one was the host of Family Feud, who was one of the most well-known hosts in the entire... It was like breaking the fourth wall, because you had this actor who was very, very famous, who was also the host of the Family Feud, who was hosting this dystopian nightmare. It would be like if they took Steve Harvey and put him in the movie, but they didn't take Steve Harvey and put him in the movie. They took some rando actor, and I just don't think it fits as well. I just don't know what to make of this. And I know that the Stephen King, or at the Arnold Schwarzenegger one, was kind of cheesy. Yeah, they had a hockey battle where, you know, back when hockey was cool, and they could use the hockey sticks and the ice skates to slice them people open, and those things were cool. But that's not what it is. It's different. And look at this. This is wild to me. I know it's a cheesy movie, but it's definitely way better than 61% and 67% from reviewers. Like, what? There's 50,000 reviews at 61%. Maybe it's not what anybody thought it was, because it is cheesy, but it's a lot of fun. This new one is like, oh, I'm poor. I'm not a government hostage because I refuse to commit a war crime on civilians. He's like, I'm poor and I need to save my kids. And instead of being a controlled environment, he's in the world, and they just send hunters after him. And you know who else isn't in this? Jesse Ventura. The only good villain seems to be what's this guy? I'll think of him in a second. But it's just different, and it's you know, I just don't think that the cast is that exciting. Glenn Powell's fine. Josh Brolin is good, but I don't know. I like Josh Brolin a lot, but we'll see. I don't think it's going to be good, especially when you have like a non-meta host. Again, they're just trying to recreate the book, and that seems like a bad idea, and I don't think anyone's going to like this. And it reminds me of another disaster, Total Recall. Do you remember when Colin Farrell did it? And they tried to redo, like, the original Total Recall. It's just outrageous science fiction fun and nonsense. And then you try to readapt the Philip K. Dick book, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And that was what was smart about the 80s and 90s. They actually thought of a different way to do this. Like, look, Total Recall, 79% on the fan side, 82% on the critic side. It makes more sense. Total Recall with Colin Farrell, not good. Not good. 2012, 47%. This is not going to get good ratings. I'm just telling you now. I hate to burst your bubble. I hate to do that to you. I want you to enjoy this movie, or at least act like you'd like to enjoy it. And Glenn Powell seems to be trying real hard, but he's not Arnold Schwarzenegger. And this is an adaptation of Stephen King as hiding who he really is so he could do a different book. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Are you excited? Do you think that the themes are wrong? Do you think they're off? Are you going to pay to see this? I, for one, I'm tempted to, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. It seems like a waste of money to me. Maybe if I saw it on matinee, I'll definitely see it when it comes out on streaming, for sure. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let's talk about it. Big fan of the Arnold Schwarzenegger one. This one, not so much, but thank you for listening. Like, subscribe. Check out our full-length audio podcast. We live stream it Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you could check out, we do reviews, shorts. We review all sorts of stuff. Stuff that you don't want to watch. Like, I'm hate watching Ironheart right now, and you can catch that. It's a thing that I am watching, and it's torturing me. But love all y'all. Join the channel for some exclusive videos. But I am on to the next one.
Thanks for catching the video. Be sure to join our channel. You deserve. Make sure you check out our shorts, live streams, and catch us on all the socials. Don't forget to like and subscribe.